Minutes, sponsored by Sinclair Heating and Cooling for 24/7 comfort on call.
Well, people don't like needles. A lot of people don't. And then, this woman might have an idea for that.
This woman is extremely intelligent, okay? She is a researcher. I'm not even going to try to butcher her name, but she is at Tel Aviv University in Israel. And for a number of years, she has been working on, and it's a really interesting technology, making vaccines for cancers, various types of cancers. And there's a lot of researchers are working on this right now, and they are making some progress, which is interesting. But she and her team were working with some other researchers in Portugal, and they thought, you know, I wonder if we could take our approach to making a vaccine for cancer and maybe use it for other vaccines, because it is a different approach. Needle-free new nano vaccine effective against all COVID-19 variants. Now, we had another story, it was just about 2.5 months ago, on another set of researchers that they think they've solved a riddle where their COVID vaccine would be effective against future variants. Okay?
So they're,
This
planning
is
for the
just on
future.
all the variants that we know of so far, but it may too be effective against future variants. So with that said, here's what they're doing, and this is really an interesting approach. Unlike Moderna and Pfizer, we've all heard so much about that spike protein.
Yeah,
everybody's,
mRNA,
everybody's targeting that spike protein. Instead of targeting that protein, she is using the same technology that they use in these cancer vaccines, where they identified 2 short and simple amino acid sequences that are in that protein. So it's kind of like just a tiny portion of that spike protein that they've been able to take,
narrow down,
and put it in these nanoparticles so it can be administered, okay? But this is why it's so important. So many advantages over traditional vaccines. First of all, as you mentioned earlier, it's needle-free. It's administered as a nasal spray, so you don't need skilled personnel to administer an injection. You just squirt it in the nose and you're good to go. Anybody can do it. You can do it to yourself. It reduces the risk of contamination along the way.
And sharps.
All of those needles. What do you do with all of those needles? And also this, unlike the mRNA vaccines, which require that ultra-cold storage.
I remember that.
These can be stored as a powder at room temperature and then just mixed with saline when you're ready to use it. So
that would, for other countries, developing countries, that would be a game changer.
And remote areas, yes, because you don't have to worry about that cold storage problem. There's also another vaccine advantage, and this is her own words. She says it's plug and play. It's plug and play. We can use the same technology, same identifying of amino acids for simpler, effective, and less expensive vaccines for other diseases, and maybe, my goodness, I hope not, but any future pandemic that would come up. And by the way, if you're wondering, it's as effective as the Pfizer vaccine for COVID. So they've made some good inroads there.
They've made some definite great inroads, especially if you can eliminate the cold and the needles.
Yes.
That's huge for a lot of people.
It is, yeah.
All right, thanks, Brad. Well, Packer fans.